Hey guys, it is Kelly Ann and welcome to another video. It is Thursday, February 16th, and I didn't really vlog any this week, so you're just gonna get a video with all of the things in it, and yeah, I'm just gonna come at you with all the things. So, I hope that y'all have been well, and have had a really good week. It's been a crazy week and my mind is kind of in a lot of places between work and the world and just some personal stuff. I had a death this week on Monday, and it hasn't really super hit me yet, and I don't think it will until like the visitation or service. My dad was telling me that he didn't want anything big. And I know that they went yesterday to make the plans, his wife and like his kids. I don't know what they decided yet. So I haven't heard anything. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm assuming next week, maybe, because it's already almost Friday. So yeah, my brain is just in lots of places. Plus, I somehow have a really, really large stack of things to do. So, just the wheels, they're spinning, it's going. So, I did actually get a quilt done this week. I did finish Book Nook. So I will show you Book Nook, but this week I finished my test. So I can show tiny bits. So there's a little bit, and then I've already kind of previewed one of these guys. So that's as much as I can show you. You will get a full preview of that at the end of March. The designer specifically asked for us to post like our fabric selection, which I've already posted, an in progress shot, which I've taken a couple, so I can choose which one I want to use, and then once it's done, we can take a distorted photo of the quilt top, but we can't post what it actually fully looks like until after the pattern comes out, so release day. I'm almost done with it. I shouldn't say I'm like finished with it. I'm almost done with it. I need to cut out the borders and just add the borders, but it's just a strip around each side. So, I'll get that done this weekend, so that way I can take the final like distorted picture to post later. So I'm going to post, I've already posted my fabric pull. It's a 5-week time period, and actually it started officially today, and I've already finished it. I finished it last night. It was very quick. It's a very, very fun pattern. And yeah, it comes as like a wall hanging or like a baby quilt size basically, and a twin, but you could easily like manipulate it and make it bigger. If you so chose to like make it into a throw or an even larger quilt. But anyways, I absolutely love it. It came out better than I ever expected it. It's a totally different type of pattern for me. It's mostly background, which I have yet to do one of those. I want to do some more of those, and I've been planning on that, but anyways, this just kind of like came to me. I'm gonna kind of like hop around because everything is literally sitting in front of me in piles. I didn't do any cross stitching this week. The cats are doing okay. Daniel is still Daniel, and Stella is being cute. She was in here right whenever I was getting started, but she's left, so we'll see if she comes in. But what else was I saying? Oh yes, I finished the Book Nook quilt. I have it right beside me, so At the very end, I will show that because I need to like reposition the camera so that way I can give you like a really good view of it. Okay, so the String of Hearts quilt along, I also won, because I won week 1 giveaways. I also won week 4 giveaways. And the week 4 giveaways was a set of 100 extra long magic pins with a little hard carrying case. So that's pretty neat. A 50 count box in a cool little carrying case of Wonder Clips, which are what I use for bindings, to hold down the bindings. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, super handy. I love these. A 8-inch blunt tip serrated knife edge dressmaker shears by Ginger, which are made in Italy. I'm super excited about this. The box kind of came a little sad, but you know, that's bound to happen. Ow. Ooh. So pretty. It is etched on the side. It says Ginger, Italy. Ooh. What a nice sound. And it comes with blade covers. Hey, little, come here. You want to come here? So that is super nice. It says Ginger on it. You want to come here? Come here. Hi, honey. Say hello. Say hello. Okay. Okay. Well, you want to go this way or you want to go the other way? All right. And then the fourth thing that came from the week 4 is Amber Elliott of Alderwood Studios, her new book called Modern Heirloom Quilts. And it's 12 quilting patterns for a contemporary home. And she signed it. She said, "Happy quilting. Love, Amber." So there is a really long introduction section, which talks about the tools that you need, different materials, different definitions, and different stages of a quilt. And then there's a section called techniques. So there's different definitions in here, like FQ, and FE is fat quarter, fat eighth, quilt sandwich, based, quilt top, all that kind of stuff. So like simple, selvage, WOF is width of fabric, that kind of stuff. And then there's stages of a quilt, which is cutting, piecing, pressing, lots of pressing, and quilting, and then binding at the very end, and really great images of like how to get like mitered corners for your quilts. So if you want to see, I can show you the projects in here. They're really, really pretty. The technique section covers half square triangles, curves, pillow covers, and finishing wall hangings. So, how to do some pillow covers and how to put up a sleeve so that way you can hang things. Okay, so then there's quilt patterns, and then there's another section with like small projects as well. So the first one is Tulipia, which is gorgeous. And these have the pattern sizes for, or this one has wall hanging, baby, and throw. So you get all of the instructions for those 3 sizes. Zephyr is baby, throw, and a bed quilt. And the bed is 90 by 108, which you could you could do that with like a queen. That's probably more like, it's like full queen size basically. But anyways, super cool. Baby and throw size Desert Mirage. So again, she shows the technique in the book at the beginning of how to make those circular patterns. I really like this one. This one is a baby, a throw, and a bed, which the bed is 84 by 105, which again is more full size to a queen. So it'd be like really nice for a full size, but that could also be for a queen. So yeah, that one's really pretty. And I really love that all the patterns in here are for multiple sizes. So this one, actually, I might love this one more. This is Clementine. This is for a throw or a bed. And the bed size is 93 by 93. So a queen, a really good size queen, or a like just big enough king, basically. In my opinion, I personally like a really long overhang though, because I move a fair amount while I sleep. So I like to have more overhang so that way you aren't like fighting to find where there's blanket. So that's a personal preference, 100%. Plume, throw size and bed size. Bed size is 100 by 100, so definitely a king. But look how beautiful. This kind of looks like a peacock feather to me. So if you changed up just a little bit of some of those colors, you could actually make it look peacockish, which would be really neat, I think. Oh, I skipped one. Okay, this is just in a throw size, 60 by 72, Perpetua. That is stunning. I love this color palette. I think it's gorgeous. The fabrics are seafoam, spruce, pepper, and snow. Very pretty. Wintry color palette. This one is also just a throw, a 62 by 74, Supernova. That is stunning. This would even be cool doing more than just 2 colors, but you would have to obviously do a little bit of math. But yeah, this one's super pretty. Supernova. Okay, and then pillows and wall hangings. This is Sunrise. This is a really cool pillow. So the sunrise inside of the circle is the opposite of the outside of the circle. And so it makes a really, really cool, unique pattern. This one is really cool. Full moon. This could be a pillow or a wall hanging. It's 16 by 24. So if it was a pillow, it would be more like a sham type size. So like pillow wise, it would be like that, but it could also be a wall hanging. But yeah, full moon. This one's stunning. This is the Clementine pillow. Or wall hanging. It's 24 by 24. So it's basically like a larger block of the Clementine quilt. So with that one, you could always make, you know, pillows to go with it. And then Snowdrop, this is a pillow or a wall hanging, and this one is 12 by 24. So not really close to like and I don't even know if the other one would be a sham. I feel like 16 is too skinny to be a sham, but it might be closer to just like pillow size, like standard pillow size, not sham size. Anyways, this one is 12 by 24. So it's more kind of like just a decorative pillow that you would have on your bed. or you could make it a wall hanging. And this one looks a lot like the first one that has kind of like the tulip feel for it. But yeah, and then there's just, you know, some little about Amber in the back. So really awesome book. So 2 of my tasks this weekend are putting on binding and prepping it for hand stitching. I would love to get the hand stitching to at least one of them done this weekend because it's a commission quilt and I'll make a little bit. I've already been paid for majority of the quilt, so it would just be me getting paid for finishing up the quilt. But this isn't that one, but this is one of them. So I got my Texas quilt back that I made for my cousins for Christmas. And so I am just going to put black because there's black fabrics in here, but it's like line work fabric is like the main prints. So there is a fair amount of black in here, but this is the Hey Y'all. This is the one that I did, I don't know, back in, was it the summer or was it like in October? I don't even remember when exactly I did it. But I don't remember when I finished it, but anyways, I took the 3 panels and then, I took a layer cake of the Hey Y'all fabric and I made it into charms. And then I mixed that in with the 3 grunges and the 3 prints that, I had pulled for my Texas quilt, my custom Texas quilt. So, so yeah, I doodled out the pattern based around the 3 Hey Y'all, or the panel with the 3 Hey Y'all big prints. So anyways, it'll be a quilt that'll do really well with black binding. So I need to put that binding on that quilt. Fuck. This weekend. So that way, I can prep it and get that done. And, I need to pick that up. One moment. Okay. I organized this half of the room, but I haven't finished organizing the office side of the room. And yeah, that's really fun. And I still need to organize the quilts. Stella keeps on hopping up there and really wanting to sit up there, but she's terrified to sit on it because of how high it is. So I really need to film a quilt parade video for you guys and reorganize that to where I think I'm just gonna, all the quilts that have backing already, I'm going to pull them out and not store them in here yet. And I'm going to pull them out and like set them somewhere else in their own pile. So that way, those are the quilts that I focus on getting quilted first. Anyways, let me jump to the second quilt that I need to put binding on. Paige finished the cat quilt. So this is the one that I need to put the binding on this weekend. And I need to square it up and everything because Paige doesn't trim off and square up the quilts for you. So I need to do that. So I will square this up this weekend and I will put the binding on. Originally, we were going to do this same white background for the binding, but Amber decided that she wanted different fabric for the binding. So, she already paid for that. And yeah, so I just got to put the binding on and I want to get it back to her as soon as possible. So I also need to dig out in there the labels because she picked one of the cat labels. So I need to pull out the cat label so that way I can stitch it into the binding on 2 sides. And then as I'm doing the binding, I'll whip stitch that at the same time. Oh, it didn't fall. Okay. So what else have I been up to before I get to the last small pile? So, I have, aside from my tester, I have the Steelers Baby Quilt Commission, and this is a tragic story. So I made a test block, and I'm gonna make more test blocks, which leads to one of the piles. So I doodled out a baby quilt, and she wanted it to be like Steelers themed. So we're gonna kind of makeshift the Steelers logo. So a blank square and then the 3 diamonds in yellow, red, and blue. And so we're basically gonna make, or I'm gonna make a medallion in the center, and this black chambray is going to be thick borders, like 14-inch borders around this medallion, and that's going to be the quilt. And then the back is going to be yellow, like a golden yellow, and the binding is going to be black. So this ruler, the Wonder Curve ruler by So Kind of Wonderful, this ruler, you can make these little, you can make flowers with this. You can make this little butterfly pattern. Like, it comes with the instructions to make this little butterfly pattern. However, if I stop at this step and just trim this up and put all of these parts together, 4 of them, it makes what looks like the Steelers star. But I had a little issues with this one. So I've never used this before. I've never done this technique before. So this was like my first try, which I'm not going to lie, this is actually pretty good for my first try ever with curves. I'm not mad about this try, but I definitely need to try several more times because I want this lady's quilt to look good. So it's for her first grandkid. Like, I want it to look good. So, yeah, obviously we have some issues along the edges, which I think that will just come with, like testing it a few more times. But for the most part, really where I had an issue was in the end of the curves. The fabric puckered a little bit. Now, I followed the instructions and I did it with pins. And so that's where I got some of the issue. So I went over to Paige's because Paige actually, in our little schoolhouse session that we did, taught this ruler. And because I was also teaching a booth, I didn't get to watch the demo. So I showed her what I did. And she said to not pin it and to glue it instead. So I bought a Soline fabric glue pin, which is, it dries clear and it's water soluble. And this set was $7.95 and it comes with a refill. But it's basically it's a blue glue. Let's just open it. So this weekend, I have a couple of things that I am going to do this long weekend because I have Monday off because it's a federal holiday. And working for the state, you get those things off. But okay, so this is my little refill, and then this is my Soline pin, and that is my glue stick. And I definitely don't want it up that tall. Can you lower it? I guess you can't lower it, but as you use it, you just don't have to twist it all the way up. But anyways, she showed me a really good technique for doing this. So I glued half of this one. So we were just like playing around. And then this one we glued as well. And this stuff holds really well. I mean, like if you like really tug on it, it's going to pull up. But anyways, I shouldn't have any puckering using this glue. So I'm going to be practicing with some of my scraps, some of my larger scraps, and I'm going to try and master this weekend. So 2 tasks this weekend, put on binding on those 2 quilts, and hopefully, if not get one completed, at least start whip stitching the cat quilt for Amber, because I would love to get that finished this next week. So I just need to put some time into whip stitching that quilt this week. Practice this weekend. I would like to make a successful one of these so that way I can actually cut into her fabric that she paid for and make her baby quilt. Which, where is... Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the background fabric that we're mixing with this. So it's just like a fun take on the Steelers logo. And this is the added up from Ruby Star in natural with the black added ups. And so they're plus signs, but they kind of give the illusion of that tapered star. So that's why we went with that. And it looks really, really good with like the black and white kind of design. So practicing this and all this and sewing or gluing. I'm gonna put the extra in there, and we're gonna put the glue stick with the fabrics and all the testers. So that is a task this weekend, is getting more practice in on that. Because yeah, I don't want to, I'm having a day, you guys. I don't want to waste any of her fabric, but obviously if I do mess up, I have plenty of the red, blue, and yellow because I have an entire fat quarter, and for that piece of that block, it doesn't take a whole lot. So it's really, I don't want to mess up the added up fabric, but if I do, I will just go over to Pages and buy more. And I will just take that loss. Okay, so that's my commission quilt. Then I am also doing, so I had a tester, I have a commission, getting started. I have a commission that I'm finishing, and I'm also doing a sample for Paige, and I am doing it in this lime green grunge fabric. So it's really cool. There's like some darker greens, kind of like grays, and like a bluish green, and the achroma line. So the white and black line from Ruby Star. And I am doing a simple charm square windmill. It's called Charming Windmills. And I've had this pattern since 2008. It's a pattern to make a single block. And basically you just decide how big you want your quilt to be. And that's how many blocks you make. So I did make one block just to make sure that Paige really liked it, even though I had already cut all the fabric. But so that is what the Charming Windmill looks like. So this is the same pattern that I did in 2008, but I finished the quilt last year for my 30s quilt that I binded with black. When did I do that? I think I finished that around October, maybe. That sounds about right. It could have been in like July or August. Anyways, I finally got it quilted and finished last year, but I made the top in 2008. So basically this is your main pinwheel, and then these will make a secondary pattern as you build it out. They'll line up and they'll make a grunge lime green pinwheel, but these are going to be the main ones. So I also have that to make. This week I also got the background pieces and the wood pieces all cut out for the scrappy spools. So at some point, I will get to putting together my January and February blocks, and it may not be until March, and I have to do January, February, and March. That just may be the way the cookie crumbles. We will see how productive I am. And then also, Pocket Full of Posies. This is a local designer. Her name is Angie Clark. I've met her. She's super, super sweet. She shops at Montgomery Quilt Company, and I go down there at least once a month usually. So I've met her several times. Very nice. Anyways, this quilt along or sew along, whatever you prefer, it starts on February 22nd, and you can get kits from Montgomery County, but or Montgomery Quilt Company. I think it's because, anyways, I know that I talked about this last video, but I think it's because company is sometimes CO, but so is county. And so I think that's why, because it's Montgomery Quilt Company. And I don't know why, but the CO for company makes me want to say county. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe it's also because I used to be a dispatcher and we used to have to call Montgomery County. I don't know. I digress. This starts at the end of the month. At pre-cuts.com, you can buy the paper pattern, but you can also buy the PDF of it. So if you wanted to do this with us, and then on Facebook, there is a group and it's called Pocket Full of Posies. And I think I showed my fabrics last time, but they're all cut and stuff. So as I get going on this, I will show it to you, but I just don't want to move all of my pieces, but you can see it right here behind me. It is the dill pickle collection with the kind of like avocado green background with the daisies. And I'm mixing it with a bright orangey red, an olive green, a teal for the background, and this really cool terrazzo ruby star print. So really cool. Another thing that I want to finish this month is I want to finish this little guy up, and then I need to finish up my little UFO sign for my UFO check-ins at my Quilt Guild. So yeah, I want to finish that before my Quilt Guild meeting. So I still have like 2.5 weeks, but you know, time is counting down with all these other time sensitive projects. So yeah, then I got sent some happy mail. Majority of what is in here got sent just for me to have fun and play with, and find something to do with. And then one item is my next commission, and I'm really super excited about it. You also know who I'm talking about. It's for McKenna, but the commission will make a whole lot more sense whenever I show you her commission panel. So I'm pretty excited. So after I get these 2 commissions done, and probably take like a week off to myself, at least, and work on one of my projects for, yeah, at least a week. But then I'm going to get started on this in early March. But she went ahead and sent it to me so that way I would have it. But she had a bunch of quilting fabric, and I think she said it was listed on 1884, And it just, I guess people didn't either didn't know it was there or didn't know what to do with these types of like quilting cottons. And so she sent them my way. So really fun. There's 2 little packages of, some of these look like Civil War reprints and then some of them don't. But so anyways, some cute little scraps, which would be great for smalls or my scrappy spools because it uses small amounts of fabric. Then there is some batiks in here, which batiks are just really awesome. So there's some really pretty batiks in here. I'm trying to see if there's any other batiks. I think these are the batiks. And then there's this really cool, this kind of looks like feathers / kind of like scales, like feathery scales. So that's a really cool like texture. So if I do any more like art pieces or something, this could be really cool for like a roof or something. So that's really neat. There is, 2 of this same fabric. So very large flowers, and they're very pretty. I love these colors. Ooh, yeah, very pretty. I'm not going to open it up all the way, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like this is the same fabric. Let's see. Maywood Studios. Yep. All right. And then there's this really pretty floral. Really like this. This looks very, okay, so I don't know exactly how old this is, but I will say that this is an older type of selvage where they didn't really, okay, in newer fabrics, the selvage goes like all the way across. It gives you these like little color indicators. So if you wanted to find solids that would match really well with the design in the print, they give you these little bubbles. So that way you can hold it up to different solids and find like as close as possible to colors that match. Older fabrics, and I don't know when they started doing this style, to be honest, because it would have had to have been either around 20 years ago or like a little bit before, a little bit after like the turn of this last century, okay? But I even remember this as a kid. Fabrics had just a tiny bit of information on them if they had anything. So this one is definitely older. I would say this is probably like late 80s, very early 90s. Love this. Super cute. Also really love this one. This one is not cut from the selvage, so I can't help with that. But this also maybe looks like it might be like a Civil War reprint, or maybe like a 30s reprint. Very super cute, like tiny, tiny, tiny little flowers. I love this one. This one is super cute. This one looks like, oh, okay, it's like little flowers and stuff, but they kind of look like little fireworks. But it's just super neat fabric. I mean, if you turn it different ways, it looks like different things. But I definitely think it goes this direction because it looks like a little plant with the little fan fabrics. This one is, I wonder if it'll tell me. So this is the selvage end, but there's nothing on the selvage. All right, well, I can't tell you any more information than that, but it feels a little bit different, which doesn't mean anything like it necessarily, but anyways, super pretty. There are 2 of them. This is also a selvage cut, but do you tell me anything? No. That's okay. That is okay. No information on the selvage. Yeah, so no clue about how old this is or where it comes from, but I really love the colors of this. I am a blue fabric girl for sure. And then this one is super cute. This looks like it could be a 30s reprint. Obviously I don't know if it is or isn't. It's from 2005. Okay, this has its selvage. It is a 30s reprint. Haha. So this is an Aunt Grace. Aunt Grace does a lot of reprints of fabrics, collections. And this is from the collection, Friends Around the World, Hawaii. So, this, I might have to use a little bit of this in my grandmother's flower garden, but it's super cute, pastel, little tiny pineapples. So this might have been like a 30s type print that was done in Hawaii, at that time, which would be super cute. So I think this one is super, super adorable. And yeah, I'm going to put this in my stack for my 30s prints fabrics. Okay. So thank you so much, McKenna. I'm going to have so much fun finding random projects to insert these into, because these are all fat quarters. So I can pull some of these to do something individually with them, like something with any of my cross stitches. You know, if I ever FFO, you know, like the 25 that are sitting in a closet, McKenna, don't hate me for that. I know you're judging, but just don't hate me. And some of the other ones, like especially these smaller cuts, I can probably put in my scrappy spools, which I think would be really fun. Especially this maroon one with the little flowers. How cute is that? That's so darling. And this little like spark looking one. Plus this little flower kind of star thing. Anyways, but yeah, a lot of quilt patterns call for like X amount of background fabric and like 15 fat quarters or whatever. So these can like easily be mixed in with like other types of fat quarters for like an extra pop and flair, or just, you know, add some extra interest. So that'll be really fun to play with those. So I'm super excited to get to do something with this for McKenna. Somebody sent her this panel. I don't know who, but somebody sent her this panel, and we've already kind of had like a somewhat conversation about what we want to do. And actually, I'm not even gonna lie, I did this test block with this fabric because the line just started hitting shops. And also, side note, Paige got the line in today. So she has the fabrics. But this one kind of looks like blood splatter. So we have talked about incorporating this into like the borders around this panel. Anyways, I digress. Somebody several years ago sent this panel to McKenna, and she just held on to it because she didn't know what she wanted to do with it. However, she wants a throw quilt to be made out of it. And okay, how fitting. How fitting. This is, it's amazing. It's so gorgeous. This is such a cool panel. And if you search Etsy like really, really hard, you might, I don't know if you can find the panel, but you can still find some of the fabrics from this line. It's Timeless Treasures Fabrics of Soho LLC. So yeah, you might still be able to find this skeleton panel. Maybe. I know that you can still find some like skeleton fabrics and stuff by Timeless Treasures on Etsy. So, but anyways, I don't remember what year this came out. We had kind of like looked it up whenever we first started talking about it, and I just don't remember. So anyways, I'm going to kind of like doodle out a couple of options to, because obviously this is pretty long. I mean, like this is like pretty close to like the size that you would want lengthwise of a throw, but not widthwise. So we have like some fun options that we can do. I can do some piecework, or I could leave it pretty simple. But anyways, so I'm going to doodle out some options so that way McKenna and I can come up with what she wants me to do to make this into a throw for her. And then she'll probably work with one of the quilters that I normally work with, have it quilted, and then I will bind it and finish it and ship it back to her. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for some of, anyways, I'm just really excited to get to do a commission for a friend because the cat quilt commission has been a lot of fun because it's a cat quilt and it's for one of Paige's friends, so that's pretty cool. The baby quilt is for a random lady that just walked into Paige's shop and wanted somebody to make a baby quilt, and Paige gave me that job. And so other than making a few quilts, like my dad has 2 quilts by me now, Jackie has one, my friend Tracy has one, and my cousins will soon have one. But I did those as gifts and like as surprises. So starting to doing commissions for people is really fun, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for the last few months. I've been talking about it. I changed my dyed panda Instagram to v.quilted.cat. So if you want to go follow the quilted cat, you can. The current profile photo is a picture of Stella wrapped up in a little quilt, or not a little quilt, but she's wrapped up in a quilt. So if you want to go give that a follow, if you aren't already, that would be really awesome. But yeah, so anyways, I'm super excited to be doing this for a friend, and collabing and making this like become a thing for her. I think it'll be so much fun. And yeah, just so different, right? But at the same time, screams McKenna. So, anyways, I'm very excited to be doing this. He doesn't have a name yet, but I've been calling him Sir Skeleton, because I don't know what else to call him, and I feel disrespectful not giving him a name. So I'm just calling him Mr. Skeleton, actually, while he's in my possession. So name to be determined by McKenna. Okay, let me reset the camera and I will show you the Book Nook quilt. Okay, so I'm not super mad. It just is a little frustrating whenever you put so much time into something that you have to just hack it off. But it did come out really good. So this is the Book Nook quilt. Yeah, I really like how it came out. So I will just, it's a little too big, so I have to do the whole roll up method. But yeah, I think it came out really good despite having that issue. I'm glad that I could like cut from the bottom, and you don't really notice that the books don't have that corner anymore. Did it add some extra dimension? Yes. But is it detrimental? Does it like ruin the quilt if you don't have it? No. So I'm not mad about it. I am not mad about it. So then there's the end, and all the books have the book titles embroidered on them. So that is pretty fun and exciting. Here's my Pollyanna block, one of my favorites, and my Heidi block. And I think this is, yeah, the Secret Garden. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think it came out really good. If you want to see a full photo of it, check out my Instagram, Kelli_s8e6. And I think that's it for this week. I know it wasn't a vlog, but honestly, what I worked on, I couldn't show you. So it just felt really weird to try and vlog whenever I couldn't really show you anything. So it made more sense to just do kind of like an old school video where I just sat down and showed you all the things at one time. So hopefully that's okay for this week. I hope that y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see y'all next Friday. Let me know what you're working on in the comments down below. And yeah, love you guys. Bye.